I wanted to talk about some key takeaway from the just concluded US election. I know we have two types of people. There is a group which is very disappointed. I was trying to talk with some of my friends about the election, and they don't want to talk about it. They they are so disappointed with the results. But I know it's a process. It's more than our loss. That many people felt the result didn't come the way they wanted. Those who wanted Kamala Harris, including myself, but lost. But I came to learn some years ago that you don't have really to put election on the heart. As I always told even people, never even plan for a party for all these things. But there are major key takeaways I learned from this just concluded election. One of the things, as we said before this, it was going to make history. If the woman president was to win, it could have made history, could have broken the ceiling. Now, one of the major takeaway is indeed one of the things America is not ready for a woman president. And this is where former President Gerald Ford, it's a prophecy, still stands. It's an amazing, and I want us to listen to that clip.
Lord, what advice would you give a young lady wanting to become President of the United States?
Well, I hope we do have a young lady at some point become President of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president, and the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die, and the woman will become president under the law or Constitution. And once that barrier is broken, from then on, men better be careful, because they'll have a hard time ever even getting a nomination in the future. But that's the way it's going to happen, and I think it'll probably come sometime in the next 4 or 8 years.
Well, Gerald Ford had said this in 1989. It has come true. And there is one particular thing that he said there, which he said, that is when a woman will become a president, ascending from the vice president after the president dies. And then from there, it would be hard for men to win the elections, which means probably a woman, when he will become president, he will be such a good leader that many people will want women. But it looks like the way the votes came in for Trump, Trump, even the pollsters were not showing it such a big sway. And it looks like in the last week, that is when people moved to Trump. And one of the things, the big factor here was a woman. This is what happened in 2016. And people changed their mind. They didn't want a woman because Hillary Clinton was a strong woman. And actually, Kamala Harris looked like she was liked, but then things changed. So Gerald Ford, that's one of the takeaway, that I don't know what Gerald Ford saw, that we don't trust a woman to lead this country. But if we can get it through the back door like that, then we will see the capability of a woman. Key takeaway. Now let's come to pollsters. They tried to pull Trump, the election. They were saying Kamala Harris was leading. So really, I would say one of the takeaway I took from here that Trump was like a Trojan horse. I mean, he was like a Trojan horse, and you know the myth about the Trojan horse, which was the Greeks wanted to attack Troy and they could not do it, so they gave them a gift of a horse, called a Trojan horse, as a gift, not knowing that inside that horse there were Greek soldiers who waited at night. They came out of the Trojan horse and then they opened the gates for the other people to come in and then they attacked them. So, because why I say it's a Trojan horse, it looks like his voters, some of them are discreet. They don't even talk to the press. They don't talk to pollsters, and probably they end up not even when they vote, they only vote and keep quiet. So making it very hard to know who they were. That's another takeaway. And one of the things also I did learn is that Trump was actually the ballot by himself. People went to vote either those who hate Trump or those who love Trump. That was the conclusion. It was Trump versus Trump. There was Trump mania. Those people who love Trump and those who voted for Kamala were those who fear Trump. Trump phobia and the Trump mania. So those are the key conclusion, because so Trump was actually running against himself. It was Trump mania and the Trump phobia. Those who love him, they went to vote for him, and those who went to vote against him, those who fear him. So conclusively, that is how this election was won. Now, Trump, they say he made an excellent performance. It was such amazing. Even when you look at every state, even those ones which were blue, it is amazing to see how he won. He shifted every state. See on that analysis, where Florida, more people voted for him, 9.8% more than they voted 2020 for him. Massachusetts, it went up. This is a Democratic state, 8.8. Texas increased by 8. You can see all of those, every state, he won. What was such a movement? And what does that show us? You know, as we said, he broke, and again, another takeaway is that he broke the 132-year rule. The last time a president won 2 non-consecutive terms was in 1892. 1892, and we are in 2024. That is a long time. That he has broken that jinx. Let's see what happened in, conclusively in 1884. Cleveland ran and won election in 1884. You can see. He won. But Grover Cleveland, coming to 1888, he lost election and was defeated. He lost the election and then came back in 1892. And there we are comparing 1880. He lost the election, then came 1892, he won the election. So, and that is now that the only man we have who has done that same thing is Donald Trump. We give him credit for breaking that. We thought he would not do it because why we thought we had analyzed that Cleveland was a gentleman. Even when he lost the election, he peacefully handed power. There was a peaceful transfer of power, which Donald Trump never did when he lost the election. So we thought it was even seen when the person who defeated him defeated Cleveland. It was raining that time. He held the umbrella for him as he was signing, as he was being sworn in. So we thought he could not repeat it, but Trump repeated it. It is so amazing that how Trump used his, he made Americans hungry. He maintained the negative message, which many people, many bandits thought that it will not stick. But how amazing that it stuck and the people believed. But now, no matter that, those are some of the key takeaways. But now the challenge is he has been given a mandate. He did not only win, it was more like a landslide. I mean, he won without much expectation. But now he has the Senate, he has the House. Let him now implement things. Now, let it come, he should move from politicking to governing. And now you could even see the appointments he's making. And one of the things that he's making is making radical appointments. I know he doesn't have a much pool of leaders. Most of the Republican the potential leaders are not with him. And some of them, even if he wants to work with them, they may not want to work with them, or they may not be loyal to them. So he is suspicious. He's already appointing, like the person he's appointing as an Attorney General, a congressman who's under investigation, who appears that he's not the right person to lead the docket where he's even being investigated. You should also know that he has a lot of promises he has made. These are some of the things he has made. He constantly promised that he would seal the border and stop the migration invasion. He will enforce immigration laws. He is going to do a righteous deportation program. So we are waiting to see what comes out of it. Those are big things he's going to do. They are talking about mass deportation. Trump has been in office. He knows that in this country, you cannot just wake up to deport a person. You have to take a person to a migration judge, and the migration judge will have to give an order. Let's look at something here. In this 1968 election, Richard Nixon won the 1968 election. Big margin. He won a big margin. Then he was running with a Humphrey, H.H. Humphrey, who's from Minnesota. And he also, there was Wallace, who took some southern states. You can see Richard Nixon won easily. Come 1972, during his re-election, he had a landslide. In 1972 was a landslide when he actually, I think it's only, I don't know, Maryland, which he did not win. Only one state. He won 49 states. That was a big, big win. What happened? He came in, Richard Nixon came in with a full mandate that he won all the states. Guess what? The scandals which followed his vice president, who resigned, and then he had to appoint Gerald Ford. Within 2 years, Richard Nixon was caught with the Watergate scandal, and he had to leave office unceremoniously. He resigned from office. Why am I saying that? It's an example we need. Trump needed to know that you may come with all that power, and it can go into your head, and you end up stumbling yourself. And it would appear from the way he's appointing his appointments, like these cabinet positions. People of question of integrity, even the people, his own party, they are questioning that. So you should remember that winning, if anything, you have to learn from Richard Nixon. You can stumble on yourself. You may think you have the mandate. You have been given all of the Senate and everything. But they could be handing you a rope to hang yourself. So, as Mahatma Gandhi said, wear the crown of thorns. And remember, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Don't forget that you have been elected to serve the citizens of this country. So, let that not go into your head. It will end up hanging you. You know, if there is anything you have to do, yeah, you won the election. I mean, we congratulate you that. When we see your election in 2016, yes, you broke the wall. You did break the wall, which you wrote, which we call it the blue wall. But if you compare what you did 2016, you repeated it. Trump repeated and actually added one more state. If you compare the two, the map is almost the same. And actually, he added Nevada to the column. It was exactly the same map, and added Nevada to the column, which he did it very well, absolutely very well. But that's why he should know that the power corrupts. And you have done, but I'm not saying that you are going to do that, because there are some people who have won that election. Even in I think it was 1984, when in 1984, Ronald Reagan won all the states except Minnesota. That's why you hear that Minnesota has never voted a Republican since 1972. 1972 is the last time when they voted for Richard Nixon. In 1984, it is the only state which never voted for a Republican. But that is probably because Walter Mondale was from Minnesota. That would be the reason why they never voted for him. So Reagan won all of those votes, but he stayed to his course, and he was a humble person, and finished well. So I'm not predicting that anything is going to happen. So those are my takeaway of the election, and I want to tell people, let us move on. Elections come and they go. When Richard Nixon won almost all the states, people thought the Democratic Party was done. It wasn't done. The following election, after 4 years, they elected Jimmy Carter. So we have seen that. Even that election, I've shown about Ronald Reagan in 1984. Yes, They were voted, and its Vice President George Bush won the following election, but after 4 years, he was defeated by Bill Clinton. So no matter what happened, Trump has 4 years. People survived these 4 years. We will survive his 4 years, but we want to wish him well. If he wants, he's going to make America great, all of us will be happy that America is great. So I wish him the best of luck, and let us not get stressed. Let's move on. Life was to continue.